Hello everyone and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are continuing our Thrawn's Revenge Imperial Civil War 2.2 preview playthrough as the New Republic in the Back to War GC. In the last episode, we were attacked by some pretty large Zinj and Imperial Remnant fleets about 2 or 3 times, and in this episode we're going to try to rebuild whatever we'd lost in the last episode, and hopefully we'll be able to make some progress taking out probably a couple Imperial planets. I'd like to take Corellia and Corax if we're able to. So what I think we will do first, we don't have Aaron Kraken anymore, but we do have Han.
Tactical battle imminent.
All right, so Levian. We should be able to win this. They don't seem to want to land all their forces on this map. I don't know if we're actually going to end up keeping this map just because of some of the issues with the layout and the build structures. I'd like to rearrange some of this stuff so it works a bit better, because I think it's still salvageable. They're just, like I said in the last episode, it was mostly made for skirmish when Rogue originally made it, and then we just converted it to GC. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But for now, there we go.
Loaded. T4B mobile.
Let's send our T4Bs up there. Ooh. That is a very convenient slope for them.
Barracks destroyed.
Right, sir. T4B ready. Moving into position. Right away.
Come on, T4Bs.
Our
Underway.
base is under attack.
Almost there.
Hellfires are actually much weaker right now than they were in the previous builds in 2.1 especially. But they're still very good artillery because of their range. They're not like the kind of single bursty round that you'd expect from the other artillery that the other factions have. But
We are victorious.
we wanted them to be like anti-air, but their missiles, we have to do a lot of editing to the way their missiles travel before that'll actually work. Yeah, so for some reason they don't want to land that
Vehicle
stuff.
in production.
But let's not worry about that as yet. A lot of the AI stuff we're still looking at. Like I said, to fill in those behaviors that we had to strip out. But what I was going to do before this happened was to get Han over there. And we're going to send him to Corellia just to see what's going on. I guess he doesn't have the system survivability, so can't really see that much. But I think this fleet, I'm going to regret saying this, but I think this fleet can actually
Unit in production. Unit cancelled.
potentially win. Let's see if we just have any other Corellian corvettes anywhere else. I don't think we do. Yeah, we have these ones, so let's send them over. I don't want to lose Champala, so we won't take Akbar off of that. And the fact that we have Han will make it even better for anti-fighter. So we'll just rely on that, and we'll send this fleet into Corellia and see what we get out of that. And hopefully we'll be able to send the real core up to Borleas. Alright, so let's, we do have our Pathfinder in. And we have Tarek with the Errant Venture, so we at least have a capital, or an ISD.
Imminent.
They don't seem to have anything bigger than the VSDs in this section. We do have to worry about Isard over on Pakrik, but we'll probably deal with that after we've got our the rail core up to Borleas. Right now, it's more important to just unite all our territory.
At your command. Armed and ready. Ahead full.
Choose your
Okay,
reinforcements.
so
Underway.
I'm gonna try to sneak a little bit more around.
We've located the enemy.
Oh, they do have Golans. So
Moving
let's
Choose your reinforcements.
Understood.
let's go in on this side.
Moving into position.
Get as
Moving
much
out.
of our anti-fighter in as we can,
Orders received. Roger that.
Order
and go for some MC-80Bs.
coming around. Right away. On my way. Forward.
At
Heading
maximum
for
unit
coordinates.
capacity.
Alright, there we go. We're going to start drawing them over toward us a little bit.
Cruiser standing by.
Roger, reporting.
But we should be able... Oh, no, I guess it just wants to get away.
Cruiser responding.
So let's send the MC-80Bs into this
Ready
section,
to commence.
and
Weapons
Awaiting orders.
charged.
We'll send this up.
Ready for your orders. Understood.
You go with
Ready
them.
reporting.
Weapons operational.
You go with that.
A-Wing Squadron reporting. We're starting our attack run.
A-Wings go in, X-Wings go in as well. There was actually another update release for Empire War, which is supposed to be the last one. There's some stuff that was in their patch notes that doesn't seem to be actually in the upgrade or update. So I'm gonna do a video, try to take a look at what's there, and I don't know if they plan. They're not gonna do another update beyond what they had already been talking about, but I don't know if they're gonna put out another update within that, because like I said, there's some stuff that may or may not have actually been in it.
Ready for action.
Okay, we need to get these up here. We're still losing a lot of our anti-fighter.
Open fire on those laser cannons.
Or a lot of our fighters, not anti-fighter. But yeah, so anyone's like, oh, well, maybe they'll do an update that'll add like 17. No, they're not going to be adding any actual features. It's just stuff to either do bug fixes or bug fixes. Okay, Han, get out of there.
Awaiting orders.
Weapons armed.
And there were also a few people who were asking about whether or not the patron ships would be left in as something you can build in the actual mod, and that's not something we're going to be doing. The patron stuff is just for the channel. There's a few reasons for this. Like, I know some people would want it, but the main one is that it really clogs up the build bar because you have the multiple copies of the ships. But the other thing is that it also clogs up the reinforcement thing. So you may have noticed in the past few episodes, whenever we got into a battle with all the patron ships and then a significant amount of other regular ships, it would be completely full, and then you'd start getting the icon stacking thing up here, and that's an issue that we don't really want to stay in the mod.
Y-wing standing by.
And that's also one of the problems with doing the challenge mode the way I intend to do it on the channel in a public release, is because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to have to be doing that sort of isn't super clean or would mess with the basic functionality of the game in other situations. So I'm essentially going to be editing it in, and then I'm going to be branching it off of the main mod repository so I can still work on the mod while doing that, and then it's going to be handled in a completely different way. It'll involve making some stuff in the mod not buildable and editing one faction significantly, so it's not the kind of thing that would really work for an actual release, which is why I want to think of a way to handle it differently from how I'm going to do it on my own, that still allows people to have that same kind of thing, assuming it goes well, because it could just be a terrible idea and not fun at all. But since there does seem to be some interest in actually having that for people, I kind of want to do a tactical survival mode video soon as well. There's still some changes we want to make. I think Rogue is working on some map updates. Pox was really wanting an update to the maps for that.
Those torpedo launchers must be destroyed. Attacking.
And there's some other stuff we want to work into survival mode. So some of it actually coincides with the work we want to do for the mod overall in 2.3, like some of the extra features that we're doing for GC battles. That'll work really well when put into survival mode as well. But that's all future speculation. Okay, Tarek, you have done nothing this battle. Didn't really need you to do anything, but could have just won slightly faster, I guess.
Those ion cannons. Ready to commence. Weapons charged.
Yes, ready to fire.
Can't see him.
Weapons operational. Full craft attack.
Roger
Got one
that.
on me.
I'm on it.
Need help. I need help.
Mon calamari cruiser here.
Alright, continue up there.
Ready.
So one of the things that seems to be weird with the AI behavior from the base game, which is what you're seeing here, is that there is stuff coded in for the ships if they don't think they can win their current engagement with whatever they're fighting at the moment to sort of fly off like this one did. But those don't seem to take into account like the broader battle and the fact that they might not win against anything. So I don't know how much we'll be able to actually do about that, but like if you're not going to retreat from the battle, then don't send out all of your units individually and take away from your main force when you have the best chance you have to actually do any damage. It's like now they're coming back, when if they had stayed earlier, they could have potentially destroyed a couple more units than the, like, what, 3 Corellian Corvettes they did. Show this guy in the back here. Remember, nice. Okay, so we probably will lose the MC-80B here.
Reporting in.
Waiting orders have been disabled. Yes, sir. Attack. Yes, Commander. Ready. Fire.
Enemy fighters on me.
Cruiser standing
Enemy
by.
fighters incoming.
Copy. I copy. Open fire.
Loud and clear.
Got it.
Cruiser responding.
I'm under attack.
Reporting.
I'm here.
Alright,
Confirmed.
so I'm going to check the history graphs as soon as we get to the galactic map, just to see what our standing is next to the IR. Unfortunately, we can't see what's going on with Zinj,
Destroy the ion
but
cannon.
oh well.
What's
We've
that?
got us targeted.
We can do that.
Swinging around. Switch pattern. They're coming around.
Yes, Commander. I will try.
Take it easy. Weapons charged.
Got your 6.
There's the one, and this is the last ones down here.
Hey, taking out the bad guy.
Swinging around.
Engines are gone, so now that's getting away. What do they have up here still? Oh, just fighters.
Operational.
Right, so, oh, we actually lost Nemeth Knights somehow? And Jennifer. Alright, so let's get Jennifer and Nemeth Knights back.
Unit in production. Construction complete.
Alright, so let's send them
On
over
my way.
here. Let's get our ground forces up over here.
Moving into
Okay, so
position.
Duro is connected over this way as well.
Tactical battle imminent.
I can't remember if I said it in the last episode, but we are planning on giving some spy units to the New Republic, like making Bothan spy sort of function like probe droids from the Remnant. Just haven't done that yet. They'll probably be a bit more
E2B
limited than the
over.
probe droids, but
On it, sir. Course plotted.
okay, so we don't have our T4Bs this time because they are dead.
T2B, copy.
Let's see if we can get up to the thing. I want to check
Copy.
how many PopCap this is worth. I think it's 5, but it might just be
Adjusting
2.
Navicomputer. Advancing. There they are. I've got them in my sight. Advance. Forward. Right away. Moving out.
No. Okay.
Cannon charged.
The enemy has been defeated.
Alright, so we should be able to just hold this planet
At your command.
fairly
Beginning
easily.
construction.
What do we actually have in this? We don't have any RAFs, which is what I really want.
Constructing unit.
Do we have... I think we have the weird Coronet City map. Yeah. The problem with this map is the mini-map right now, because technically it's made by... Any sort of holes you see on map are made by texturing out.
Calamari cruiser ready.
Like there's a texture called hole, which makes the ground invisible.
Battle imminent.
And okay, this is. But anyways, there's a texture called hole, and that'll make anything you see invisible. It's the problem that comes up is whoever made that map didn't make a height map that put the actual platforms you're on and the negative space, so the stuff we texture
Armor
out,
standing by.
different
out.
heights. So on the mini map, it to the game it seems like it's all one
All out, troops.
level, even though like in the presentation of it there's no
Armor ready.
land there
Let's move
whatsoever,
out.
which means like the mini map is all one color and you can't really tell where you can and can't go from the mini map.
Ready to roll.
So I don't know if we'll be able to salvage that, because it would
Enemy is
mean
approaching.
editing pretty much the entire thing. Why are there so many props here? There's so many unit
Roger
props that
that.
really shouldn't be here.
Keep going. This way. Over there. On it, sir. Course plotted. Adjusting navicomputer. Advancing.
Unit
Weapons
destroyed.
ready. Advance. Forward. Form up. Right away. Moving out. Targeting enemy.
We are victorious. Unit in production.
Alright.
A-Wing Squadron reporting.
I really just want to get these forces off of Levian.
Constructing unit.
We can get
T2B
another MC-80B. I want to build up this fleet a bit more. Ideally, we'd have 3
Construction complete.
full fleets here. Something around this size for everyone. But alright, we have an RAF.
Course plotted.
So let's do this, and then maybe we'll swap this fleet with this fleet, and then we'll be able to go into Levian. We would need a lot more
At your
anti-fighter,
command.
actually. So
Constructing unit.
let's do that. Nope. Here. And we'll see how this map is laid out.
Invasion commencing.
Oh. Forgot my Mothma was included in the
The
co-op
enemy
ground
has
force.
been
I'll have to just
spotted.
move her back. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So this is a map that may or may not end up staying, just because of what would be actually involved in trying to fix just the mini-map.
Can do. Can I help? Right.
Enemy base shields up.
Ready. Got it. Moving out.
Alright,
At your
so let's
We've
grab...
secured a build pad.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no sensor arrays.
heading out.
Gonna keep forgetting about
We've
that.
captured an abandoned turbo
Can I
laser
assist you?
tower. Construction complete. We've secured a build pad.
Where
We've
do you need me?
secured a build pad.
Let's...
Turret constructed.
Oh well.
Ready
Okay,
for
so I may as well
actions.
land here, because it doesn't look like we're going to be getting anything else out for
Adjusting
there.
navicomputer.
Reinforcements
Transmission
en route.
received.
We've secured a landing zone.
It's going to be a hard one to take.
Construction
Sir?
complete.
Yes, sir.
Let's go straight into the base.
Right away. Moving ahead.
This is an infantry-only path. Alright, well let's get our vehicles over
going.
here.
I'm here.
See if there's anything we can see that's worth going and taking. I think the power gen's over there.
What's up? You keep these men distracted for me.
Following your lead.
It'd be nice to have a floating
Cover
fortress so
fire.
we'd have sensor
Fire
ping or
slasher
something.
ready. Out, men. We've got your back. You keep these men distracted for me.
Following your lead.
Give me a little cover
We've
fire.
lost the
Fire
abandoned
support
turbo
ready.
laser tower.
Let's move out, men. Yes. Moving.
Yeah, I don't think we have the forces built up to do this.
Order
Captured an
acknowledged.
abandoned sensor array.
Oh,
On my
that's
way.
good.
Standing by.
Let's get back here.
Heading to position.
Ready to help. Heading out.
There's a lot of vehicles over there.
Choose your reinforcements.
Course plotted.
You down here. You down here.
Unit
Right away.
destroyed.
Heading out, sir.
Unit destroyed.
Ready to go.
Unit
What do you need?
destroyed.
Awaiting orders. Copy. Target in
Captured
All right,
range.
man.
abandoned
Take
turbo
cover.
laser tower.
Captain
Bombing
Solo.
run
What can we do to
available.
help?
Bombers at the ready.
Ooh, that's not good. I'm gonna fly directly over the thing.
We've lost the abandoned sensor array.
Lost the entire bombing run. Okay.
I copy.
I'm really just waiting for the orbital bombardment now.
Unit
What's on your
destroyed.
mind?
Reporting. Heading out. Fall out, troops.
Yeah? I'll follow
Reinforcement
your
point
lead.
contested.
Okay, let's see if Han and Chewie can get that back. I think it might be completely destroyed, though. If it is, we'll just have to leave.
We've secured a build pad.
Because we won't be able to attack those turbo lasers.
We've
Roger
lost the
that.
abandoned turbo laser tower.
When do we get paid? Can you give me a hand with this?
We've captured an abandoned
Come on.
turbo laser tower.
Loud and
Oh,
clear.
you guys don't want
Let's
to do
go.
anything.
Yes, sir.
Reinforcement point
Let's
contested.
move out.
I am kind of concerned if the
We're right behind you.
Keep going.
Bombardment
Guarding the
available.
freeway.
specialist isn't with it.
We've lost a landing zone.
It's part of the infantry issues we're still
What's
trying to
up?
work
Hope
out
there's
from
a
the
TNT
running while
over
firing
there.
thing.
We've captured an abandoned sensor array. The enemy base shield is offline.
Okay. So if we can defend this, we can get some of this out with bombing runs.
Yes,
Bombing
Commander.
run available.
There we go. Specialist came
We've
around. I guess the
secured a
specialist got
landing
separated, which
zone.
is why we're able to shoot it now. I think
Bombers reporting in.
a lot of that stuff, as far as the movement issues with them, comes from them being
Targets locked.
different types of units in the same company. So we'll have to see how that goes. We're still looking for all the different reasons that it would be as messed up as it ends up being. But it comes from the fact that
Ready
I talked
for
about it a
action.
lot in previous LPs, but just in
Ready.
case anyone wasn't around for that.
Avoiding
Uh,
fire.
With how infantry work now, where they can run while firing,
Unit
you have to
destroyed.
set up their companies differently and their individual units differently. And there's a thing called the Land Team Infantry Locomotor, which sort of helps keep everything grouped up. It made most commands essentially go to the company rather than the individual soldiers. Whereas the way we have to do it now, it has to use the walk locomotor for pretty much everything, which is how individual units are usually handled. Which means that it's a lot easier for things to get separated and for
G2B
weird
over.
secondary behaviors to happen, which is why there's issues. Well, right now you can see like
We can
if
cover you.
you have some of the individual squad
We can
members
cover you. Corps
not where they're
spotted.
supposed to be, you can't target them properly because the game's targeting works around that, and where they got separated like they did before, or just weird edge cases like that. And we're still trying to figure out the best way to handle it, because we do want infantry to run while firing.
Reinforcement
In the
point
demo,
contested.
the solution to that was making them all individually commanded,
Right here, sir.
because then there was no issues with the companies whatsoever. But there were some other issues with like
Bombing
that just
run
makes
available.
deploy times take longer.
Gold
It
Squadron
makes
commencing attack.
it's a bit like
Bombardment
Target.
available.
the pathfinding isn't as good, which is why that's not an ideal solution.
Base is under attack.
Take it easy. You
I
guys
think
want
we
to help me
can.
out here?
Yeah, they can handle this. This is an infantry only path, so they can't really send anything up there.
T2B, copy. Let's get going.
Need any assistance?
ATSTs are going to be kind of hard to take. If we could just get access to these build pads, we'd be able to do more.
Hey.
Well, you know what? Let's send
Great.
Han and
Middle of
Chewie over.
nowhere. Watch this.
Is this a bunker? No. Vehicle repair.
Hope they built a cantina here.
They building turrets here? Yes, they are.
Bombing run available.
I feel like
Fly-wing here.
this... No. Even though they have the AA here,
Computers locked on target. Gold Squad.
Yeah, that'll do nicely. Got it. What do you think? Stand by. Can't argue with that. Can you give me a hand with this? What's transport.
We've secured a build pad.
I'm in this for the money.
Alright, now we can try to move up some of our other
What's up?
stuff.
On the move.
Right behind you.
Heading out.
Prepare to assist.
I hear you. Going in
Okay,
close.
they might want to move some other stuff up to defend that, because they seem to be interested in that. Nope. Looks like we're good.
We've lost the abandoned
Come
turbo
on.
laser tower. Construction complete.
Yes. Standing by.
If we can get Han back in there with
Secured a landing zone.
Have blaster, we'll travel. You guys want to help
It's
me out
done.
here?
I don't know
Concentrating
if this will work.
firepower.
Can you give me a hand with this? Come on. Let's go. I got a bad feeling about this. I hope there's a canteen over
Bombardment
there. On it.
available.
Okay, you just kind of wasted. Oh no, never mind. They were right in their range. Good job, Han.
Real good.
Ready to go. Moving out.
I can cover you.
What do you need? Target
What's
sighted.
going on?
The enemy has been defeated.
Okay, that was rough.
We've secured a system control achieved.
Single
Construction
dreadnought.
complete.
Okay, let's.
At your command.
Moving out.
I don't know if I want to transfer
T2B
forces or
over.
transfer the fleets. Well, we want
Right
these
away.
here regardless.
At your command.
Let's send these guys over here because they have the lasers. We'll do. We just want Mon Mothma back on Kuat, so that's
On our
perfect.
Adjusting Navicomputer.
Beginning construction.
Building started. Building under construction.
Oh yeah, you can't fit.
Course plotted.
Heading
At your
out.
command.
So let's swap it that way.
Heading course.
Heading out.
We've got what, 4 or 5 of these now? Yeah,
Construction complete.
Mon calamari.
5. But that's a lot of fighters still. 24. You know what? I think we want a couple more of them. We do have an ion cannon here, but they don't really have anything that's needed to be destroyed. It's going to be a lot of quasars.
At your command.
So let's
Constructing
build a couple
unit.
more ground forces at Kuat.
Fall
Let's
out.
get this guy up here. As soon as we have these
At your
last
command.
2 Corellian corvettes,
Let's move out.
we're going to go and retake Levian. And then maybe we'll even go from Levian to Corson. Try to take a planet from Zinj.
At your command. Let's go.
Alright, pretty soon this GC will also be one of the ones that we turn over to the testers. The second one we're doing in this batch is... We were planning on doing the
Construction complete.
Black Fleet Crisis, but we might end up giving Shadow Hand to them instead.
T2B over.
Because there's still some stuff that we want to work on with Black Fleet Crisis. That was also the next thing I'm going to play on the channel. So I don't know how much is actually going to change between the channel version and what we're doing in the final release.
Tactical battle.
Because essentially I just want to show some of the changes to the Duskin League. And I want to do that in a live stream, so having the 12 planet version isn't too bad. Especially, we don't want to make that too big of a GC, because we already have a lot of GCs that are quite large and very few that are that small, or none that are that small. And now that the Duskin League is playable in like Art of War and whatnot, it's better to just keep that as limited as we can. Because it's not like you're missing out on an opportunity to play the Duskin
Ready
League
for
in a
command.
larger GC anymore,
We're going
which I
in.
think was the main
Choose
reason
your
people would want.
reinforcements.
Plotting course.
People were
Increase your full
wanting
throttle.
a larger Black Fleet Crisis.
Order received.
But sometimes people just want like
Enemy
every
unit
GC to have
sighted.
as many planets as possible. In which case, like, just play the larger GC that already is there. But
Let's move out.
oh well.
Let's go.
Underway. Moving into position.
I'm trying to put in as many tanky things on this side as we can,
Confirmed. Coming around. We're on the move.
and just sort of let the fighters come into us here
Moving out.
and protect our Corellian corvettes.
Right away. Heading out. Fall out. Let's move out.
Advancing.
Standing by.
Stay in attack formation.
Ready.
I got one on me.
On calamari cruiser here.
Ready, sir. Right away.
I don't know how I feel about Tarek being on the front line
I
there.
copy, sir. Ready to fire.
Can anyone else see him? I'm in a
Squadron,
tight spot.
advance.
Where are
Locking
you?
on.
Ready for orders.
Roger that.
Frigate reporting. On calamari cruiser ready.
Calling for me, sir.
Open fire.
Form up.
Shoot him down.
Firing target.
Cover.
on your tail.
Enemy fighters on me.
Watch
Ooh.
They're on me. I'm in range. I've been hit. Can't hold on.
You know, which do we want to deal with here?
On me. Ah!
Ion
Let's do that.
firing.
Ready for command. Attack that target. Cannons on. Roger that. Weapons on.
One of the bigger issues that we were having like theoretical problems with is
Transmission received.
we weren't sure if the game knew where certain things were happening, where tactical battles were actually happening.
Got him targeted.
But it turns out the game seems to select the planet when a battle happens there,
Anyone else see him?
which solves some issues for some stuff that Pox wanted to do, or that I wanted to do and Pox couldn't do because of
Enemy spotted. Reporting.
just the game not knowing certain things. So that should open up some other possibilities for us that we'll probably talk about later, because I don't remember a lot of them right now.
At will.
But
Attacking.
Enemy fighters incoming. I'm under attack.
Ready.
I can't stay out here.
Awaiting orders.
I'm hit.
Remove the
They've got
shield
him
generator.
targeted. Squad, I need
I want to give at least power to shields to
Anyone
the
else see him?
Dauntless.
Where are you?
Cruiser standing by.
All right, we got to swap some of these guys over.
Squadron advance.
I'm here.
Reporting. Order confirmed.
Yes, Commander.
I can't take another hit like that.
is the laser cars. Responding.
Responding.
Ready to commence. All craft
Cover me.
attack.
Losing my engine.
Waiting your orders.
Our
On my way.
engine is
Enemy
down.
fighters on me.
Ready. Roger that.
Roger that.
Like, there's some buffs in general we want to give to the Dauntless.
Cannon
It's a
available.
bit weaker than we'd ideally like it to be,
I'll try and draw their fire.
Ion cannon firing.
but the main one is going to be giving it a bit more survivability, because it's supposed to be a tankier ship,
We're drawing their fire.
like a lot of the earlier NR stuff.
Standing by. Coordinates received.
Ready.
Okay, let's get you guys back out of here a little bit.
Corvette moving out. No good. I can't Full speed.
Ready, sir. As you command.
Awaiting orders. Weapons
Oh,
charged.
never mind, that's the wrong one.
Countering resistance. Target those lasers.
Ready for orders.
The lasers are our target.
Yes, sir.
Enemy fighters.
Tarek is surviving better than I thought he might.
Choose your reinforcements.
I'm just not sure where I want to jump in these extra forces, but may as well just jump them in
Our
Right
shields
away.
are
over
down.
here.
Evasive maneuvers.
On my way.
Primary engine system is down.
Forward. I copy. We have them in our sight. Ready.
Copy.
On calamari cruiser here.
I'm under
That's your
attack.
command. Heading out. Open fire.
Ready for your
Ooh,
orders.
Tarek,
Calamari cruiser ready.
you are not surviving as well as I'd hoped anymore.
Ready for command. Roger that.
Try not to let one on
What is your order?
Primary drive system is down.
I'm here.
Reporting.
Our laser
Ready to
is
engage.
destroyed.
Warm up.
Tractor beam deactivated.
Rip.
Awaiting orders. Copy. All craft engaged.
Copy. Waiting orders.
I copy. Forward. Take out that down. Reporting.
They've got us
Yes,
targeted.
sir. Destroy the shield
Ion
generator.
cannon available. Ion cannon firing.
Yes, Commander. Awaiting orders.
People get so attached to heroes, though.
Ready.
I've never understood it.
Fire on the shield generator. Cruiser standing by. Cruiser responding.
Let's go for the
Ready to commence.
acclimator over there.
Charged. Weapons operational.
Choose your reinforcements.
Moving. Moving into position.
Heading for coordinates.
At maximum unit capacity.
Ready. Remove the shield generator.
Where are you?
None of this should take too long to destroy.
On calamari cruiser.
That raid fleet made this a bit tougher of a battle than I was expecting. You kind of gotta expect the raid fleet, so.
Calamari cruiser ready.
Enemy fighters on me.
Holding fire for maximum effect. Target those lasers.
I'm in a tight spot.
Ready
Our
for
engine
command.
is down.
Roger that.
Awaiting
You
orders.
guys in here as
Changing course to
well.
intercept.
Form up.
Enemy
Weapons
fighters
armed.
incoming.
Awaiting orders. Heading for coordinates.
You were hiding from me.
Copy.
Shoot him down. Shoot him down.
Our lasers are
Consider it
inoperable.
done. Commence the
Alright,
attack.
it's just those two left.
Attack. Proceeding to location. Our target priority
Ion
is the
cannon
laser cannon.
available.
Reporting.
I don't know if maybe it's just how I play, but in Empire at War, I've never really tried to min-max anything.
Open fire.
Just like, if I'm not going to lose the GC because of something,
Yes,
I don't
Commander.
particularly care that
We
much
are
about keeping
victorious.
all my forces alive.
Unit in production.
I will when we do the actual challenge mode, because I'll be limited in how many I can actually
Construction
get.
complete.
But
Consider it done.
otherwise, it's just... As long as I can still do stuff, I'm not that concerned about it.
Complying with orders.
Alright, let's get
Constructing
the
unit.
MCADB back there.
T2B over.
Okay. Do we want to go for... Yeah, I think we do want to go for Corson.
Construction complete.
I want to do it now, though.
Assault frigate here.
Building under construction.
I don't think we want to do it quite yet. So I think we are going to leave it there for today's episode. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. In the next episode, we will go for Corson and Chorax. I'm not sure which. But yeah, so I don't know if we're going to go for Zinj more or for the Remnant more. So if you guys want to leave that in the comments, whether you'd want to go for the rest of the Imperial Remnant first, or if you'd rather go kill all of Zinj, let me know. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.